Hey, do you guys remember what these are? So I want to tell you why I collect DVDs. Now, I had a friend that I used to work with whose brother was a doomsday prepper. And he had a year's supply of food, a year's supply of water. He had all the guns, ammunition, you name it, he had it. Right? And he was prepared for the end of the world. A government collapse is what he was prepping for. But what happened is he got laid off from his job. And he was without work for 6 months. And he was able to sustain his family, keep the house, uh, go on almost like normal because of those preps. You know, had the food, the grocery bill was gone because he was using his preps. A lot of his other bills he shrunk. And the first bill that usually always goes is your TV and internet. And because of that mentality that I keep with me now, I decided to collect DVDs, and now you can get these things for really cheap. There's the $5 bin at Walmart that I always shuffle through. A lot of people like to just give them away because nobody watches DVDs anymore. But in a situation like that, you're going to need to find a way to pass the time. Especially here in Minnesota, we have freezing rain, which can shut down whole towns. And so you're stuck inside. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. And so this is a good way to eliminate large chunks of your day, right? A lot of people like to sit around and play cards, but you play the same card game 5, 6 times and you've wasted an hour, but you're pretty much sick of that card game. Where with these movies, I can eliminate an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. And I also like to collect series. And so I like to collect TV series. So Caroline likes Criminal Minds. And so we have seasons 1 and 2 of that. And they're still wrapped. They're still in the packaging because we're saving them for that rainy day or that freezing rainy day. I have like 9 seasons of Family Guy. I have 8 seasons of The Big Bang Theory. And it's just going to give us that opportunity to just binge watch, right? My Big Bang Theory, we only watched the first 3 seasons. We were stuck in the house and we watched the first 3 seasons. And seasons 4 through 8 are still sealed. We haven't seen them yet. And so we have the opportunity to just spend the day binge watching a show that we enjoy. We also like movie series. So here I have like Pirates of the Caribbean. And again, you can hear that some of these are closed. I have Die Hard. And again, none of these are open. I have the Jurassic Park, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, The Fast and the Furious. It just gives us that ability to binge watch. You know, we can just sit down and instead of thinking about the situation we're in or how we wish we weren't stuck in the house or how I wish I wasn't laid off or how all these bad things that are happening in the moment, we can kind of just let them go and forget about them while we watch some of our favorite shows and our favorite movies. Another thing that I have is I have a large amount of comedies. I enjoy comedies personally, but also when it comes to those situations, no one likes to be stuck in the house all day. No one likes to be laid off from work. No one likes the bad situation that's keeping them in the house. And so to have those chuckles and those belly laughs and kind of just get you some of that comedic relief, it really can help a bad situation seem not so bad, right? We do have a lot of action movies, but I also like to keep a lot of really kid-friendly movies. I have a whole section of just children's movies because you never know who's going to be here. In a really bad situation, my nieces and my nephews and friends and family could be here with their kids, their small kids. So I like to make sure that I have a large variety of family-friendly content that I can sit down and I can watch with anybody and everybody's going to enjoy it. And so this is kind of my prep for a bad situation. A world without internet, we'll say. I still have hours and hours and hours of entertainment. Now, another thing that happens with these ice storms and a lot of stormy weather, the power completely goes out. And when the power completely goes out, none of this is going to be worth anything. But at the same time, you still need to occupy your mind for hours at a time. So I'm going to take you over to the bookshelf and we're going to talk about how I stay entertained and I keep my family entertained even when the lights go out. So let's go check it out. Alright, so sorry about the camera angle. We're in a hallway, so this wasn't the easiest angle to get, but I really want to show you this bookshelf. Because even though we do have some books, we have some Harry Potter, some Stephen King, we have a bunch of little kids books. The thing that I'm really excited about is our game collection. Now, what these games mean to me is that if the power goes out, if we're stuck inside, all my family gets to come together and enjoy each other's company. Another thing it does is we have the lanterns and the flashlights and everything. But when we're playing board games, one lantern can illuminate the whole table. And that's all the energy we're using. Instead of each one of us having our own flashlight, doing our own thing, reading our own books, one lantern is illuminating the whole area. And we're enjoying each other's company. We're together, we're laughing, we're joking, we're playing around. And so it's a lot of fun and togetherness that we get to have as a family with these games. One of the games that a lot of people don't like because it takes forever to play is Monopoly. But in a grid down situation where there is no power, there is no electricity, you're stuck inside because of the freezing rain, you know, you have a whole day of nothing. This is a great game to play and waste that time away and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. You're not just sitting around bored. Risk is another game that's really good at that. Another game that I like to play is Pandemic. And so with Pandemic, there's a virus or some kind of disease that's taking over the world. And there's outbreaks and it kills a lot of people. And so you and the people that you're playing with have to work together to find a cure. So this is a really great game to play. It helps build teamwork and working together as a family. So I really enjoy this game. Another game that I really enjoy is Above and Below. So this is like a $70 game. But the reason we invested in it is because, again, it's going to save us the power. We're going to be using one lantern to play this game. And it's going to take, it says here, it takes an average of 90 minutes to play. So you're looking at an hour and a half of play time. That's a large chunk of your day dedicated to just this game. And it gets your mind out of the slump that you're in. You know, you're not thinking about having to be stuck in the house all day. You're not thinking about the bad situation you're in. You're in a fantasy world. This is kind of like a choose your own ending book, only you use the dice and different decision making to get through this game. And it's always different because you always roll something new. You always make different decisions based on the different circumstances. So it's always different. And so you can play this game again and again and again. And it's going to be fun every single time you play. So I really like this game. Another really expensive game that we invested in was The Legend of Andor. So again, this game is fantasy. It's got dragons and knights and wizards and dwarfs and elves, and you get lost in this world. And again, it's always different. There's different cards, so depending on what you draw and what you roll when you draw the different cards, it's always different. And so this one I think takes 60 to 90 minutes, but it can go on for longer, right? You can adjust the rules a little bit, so you can extend the days. So usually when everybody has a turn, it's a new day, so you move the token. But you could go have everybody take 2 turns as one day and extend that time out even further. And so I really like these games. They're a little expensive, but like I said, it's going to get your mind off of the situation you're in, and it's going to put you in a completely different world, right? And this is another one where you work together as a team. You're trying to complete missions and fight dragons together, and you got to work together as a team. So you're building that communication, you're building that teamwork, you're really coming together as a family, and I really enjoy that game as well. And so these games, even with the power out, even with us being stuck inside, even with the bad situations that we're facing, these games are a really good escape of all of that. So a lot of people, when they think about preparing, they think about surviving a situation. They just want to live through it. When I think about prepping, I think about trying to make the situations the same as I live now, right? So if something were to happen, what can I do to make my situation better than anybody else's? How can I make it better than it should be? And this is one of the ways that I do that. My movies allow me the opportunity to waste large chunks of time. Even if there was a doomsday something, you know, you still have the rainy days. You still have those cold winter nights. You still have all those spaces in time that need to be filled with something other than just sitting around and being bored. And that's why I consider these preps and not just a hobby. So with that being said, I want to know, what kind of preps do you have that aren't necessarily life or death items? What is some luxury items that you prep to make sure that you're ready for anything? Make sure to leave that knowledge and any questions in that comment section. Then make sure to like and share this video to help spread that knowledge and those ideas to the people we care about most. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and come join the pack. I have a new video every Sunday and Thursday, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.